Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to your NBL Now Wednesday edition. It's Christmas Day. We've got NBL Hoops, a massive doubleheader coming tonight. And the work doesn't stop because we're excited to talk about the games coming up. And joining me, the one and only DJ Vasiljevic. DJ, Merry Christmas, man. Thanks for joining me on Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas, brother. So it's going to be a great day out there for everyone. And, of course, NBL, there's two good games on today.
Well, we're going to talk about that because you were part of the first ever Christmas Day game when you're playing for the Kings. But quickly touching on last night, I'm sure it felt disappointing, one, not being out there, which we can also talk about, but two, the way it went. This is not the Adelaide team we've normally seen in front of their home fans. What was the mood like after the game?
The mood wasn't great. I think everyone's now I wouldn't say a bit over it. I think everyone's just over losing. And it's not that we're losing by a few points. We're getting spanked. And we've been giving up 105 points plus in the last 6 games. So defensively, I think we're the worst in the league. So it's not about tactics or anything. It's about pride and effort on that end. And I don't think guys are locking in. Everyone kind of wants to roll, and I think everyone worries too much about the offensive end right now. So we kind of have to lock in defensively in order to make a run. If not, lose another 2-3 games and we're done.
We talk about that around the whole league, where the offensive end continues to shine since the FIBA break, but particularly highlighted by the 36ers. Perth Wildcats have really struggled on the defensive end, especially on the road. But the flip side of that is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix started as a team who couldn't defend and looked like they didn't want to. And Josh King has somehow made them into a team that wants to go about it. Is a lot of that defensive end from the shoulders up? Is it a mental thing?
I think so. They've switched, turned it around really good. It's good. It's been fun to watch what Southeast has done. And obviously, Josh King has come from Europe, so he kind of understands the game over there. Like, the game in Europe is not an offensive game; it's a defensive game. It's like playing against Virginia in college. Like, Virginia holds people to 40, 50 points in a 40-minute game. Like, that's unheard of, So I think he's locked in, got his guys locked in. So he starts from the ground up, and we kind of need to replicate that, honestly, because right now we suck.
The beautiful part of the struggles you're going through is that you've got to just get to the 6, right? It's the play-in tournament. If this was 4 years ago when you've got to reach the top 4, it's probably over. There's probably no chance you can make the postseason. But if you can find that switch, if you can flick that on and get to a top 6 and play your best basketball by February, anything can happen. And on that, when are we going to see DJ Vasiljevic back on the court?
Larry's done a good job with this playing because it actually might help us moving forward. It nearly helped us last year when Scotty took over. So I'm hoping I can play this Saturday, honestly. I'm sick and tired of sitting there watching, and I get frustrated watching because I just want to be out there because I think guys need someone like me just to space the floor a bit, give another offensive threat. And I'm not the best defender in the world, but I'm going to take some pride and lock up and do what I can. Again, that's how we based off our wins and championships in Sydney was the defensive end. We were the top 3 every year we won. So we kind of have to replicate that, and it starts with everyone else. Like, the coach can tell us all this, but it's just us, the effort, the energy, the rebounding. We can't let offense dictate how the game goes. It's got to be defense. If we get stops, we run. I think when we run, we're one of the best teams in pace. So I think we've got to go back to that, and that's what we were doing at the start of the season, and we've kind of just died off since then.
It's a good call you talk about, and again, with you being there, your leadership is one thing, but having shooters on the floor to be able to space, it's a gravitational pull defensively. You've got to know where you are at all times with the ball, without the ball. It's going to open up some space for Kendrick Davis to a bit more, make his life a little easier. Trez, Isaac, Jarrell Martin. We're seeing that similar struggle, I guess, with Melbourne United when Chris Golding was out there, when everybody just kind of collapsed. And yes, you can still score. The elite guards can still score in the bigs, but it does make life a little tougher when you don't have a knockdown shooter out there.
No, it's just the gravitational pull. You talk about the best shooters in the game with Chris, and obviously he's been missed the last 3 games, and then you come back on a minute restriction. You can't play him till the 4 minutes till the end of the 4th, and you're already down a few and trying to catch up, and it's hard. But again, you just need shooters out there who space the floor. Now, I'm not trying to, blow smoke here up my bum and all this stuff, but it's just having people out there who can space the floor really does help. Great guards and other players in this league. So hopefully I can play Saturday, like I said. And obviously we play Perth, so let's see how many points are going to be given up. The people are going to bet the overs, I guess, because the defensive end is non-existent right now for both teams. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this game's going to be 180 to 179. That's the way the trend's been going. But the minutes restriction's a fascinating one because, as you said, we saw it on Monday night with Melbourne United and Chris Golding, where he couldn't come back in the fourth until about 4 minutes to go, where Tassie had already wrestled momentum back. And I can understand it from a team point of view where you're fighting with, I guess, the physios. You have to try and understand that this is what it is when you come back from a soft tissue injury more so than anything else. And the other side is a player where, and Chris said it in the press conference, he's like, I feel great, but I have to put the faith in the physios and the people who know better than me that this is what's best for me. But I'm assuming as a player, when you feel great and you're sitting there and watching and the clock go down, Tassie go on the run of your CG and you can't get in for 3 more minutes, it would be nothing more frustrating.
No, 100%. And obviously I've had a major injury my first year in the league, and you kind of just have to be patient with it. And obviously when you've gone through something like that before, you kind of understand the rehab and you try to go a bit harder in the rehab. And, I'm ready a week ago, but, you just got to trust. And we have a good medical team here in Tristan and Mark with the physios. And we just got to I just got to listen to them. Like, end of the day, like, if I do it again, I'm out for the whole season. And, that might put my off season in jeopardy of wanting to go to Europe and whatnot. So, kind of just got to put the faith in the physios, and I trust them. Like, there hasn't been any headbutting or anything. Like, I've been really good with them. So hopefully they give me the all clear for Saturday and we shake hands and say, good job for rehab. Let's play now. So just got to behave, I guess.
I think we all need DJ Vasiljevic back on the court. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully it is on Saturday against the Perth Wildcats, because that's going to be huge for the 36ers. Before we talk about tonight's doubleheader on Christmas Day, I do want to quickly touch on that game last night on the other side, because Casey Prather, now, this is a guy who you talk about who you've been through some big injuries. There was a chance that he was never going to play basketball again with the knee injury he had a couple of years ago. You've seen him in the league before, when the success he's had at Perth, the success he had at Melbourne. This now looks like a Casey Prather who's reinvented himself somewhat, but the numbers he's been putting up, he's going to find himself in an MVP conversation very soon as one of the leading scorers on a team that currently sits in the top 4.
Oh, I 100% agree. Like, Derek Rucker said it earlier in the week, like, this guy is low-key balling right now, and he is. Like, this is the Casey Prather we've seen when he played for Perth and United, but with more of an offensive power. Like, it's just the shot is so much more smoother. Like, he's getting to the rim, he's creating. But I think Brisbane have given him a new sense of life. Obviously, he had a baby, and, now he wants to live in Australia full time. Like, I don't know, it's just given him a new sense of life, and it's helped him, and he's playing really good basketball. So full credit to him. Like, Brisbane kicked our ass last night, and he played an unbelievable game, and so did Isaac White. Like, they all came in ready to roll. Like, and that's it. You got to give credit when credit's due. Like, I can't sit here and moan about it, because they actually played some really good basketball last night.
They sure did. And again, so we want to talk a little bit about the Christmas Day games coming up. The first one is Tassie versus New Zealand. Now, DJ, when you were with the Kings, you were part of the first ever Christmas Day game, the first ever sporting event we've seen on Christmas Day in Australia. Do you remember all the lead up when it got announced, what it was like playing? Because I was calling that game as well. It seems like it's really grown since then as well. And now I just can't wait for 5:30 Eastern time where I get to lock into some hoops.
Yeah, I think obviously we played United the first Christmas Day game, and we didn't have a shoot around, so we got to spend time with family and all that. But again, for a traveling team, it can be a bit hard. I think I like the fact that the Kings and the Hawks play each other. And I would love to see a throwdown in Christmas as well. I think that's more realistic, just to play, teams who are close and interstate. I don't think Brisbane and Cairns work, just because it's still a 2.5-hour flight. So Sydney versus Illawarra and a Melbourne throwdown would be great. But I'm looking forward to some hoops, man. Like, everyone gets up early, opens the presents, has the lunch, and then you sit there at 3 o'clock. What else is there to do? And we were lucky enough. We played the first ever Christmas Day game, and we had some really good ratings. We had, I think it was 9,500 at Kudos. So it was a big success, and I think it's here to stay, honestly. So I look forward to that.
For sure. And again, I think the only other thing that I want to keep pushing out there is that if you play either 3 days before, we do the 12 days of Christmas, the giveaways, all the games leading up to New Year's Eve, any time around this period, I think every NBL team needs to wear an ugly Christmas sweater jersey.
I think so. Get a bit creative with it. I mean, I'm wearing one right now.
And I love it. I think it's great. I think we've seen a couple of New Zealand's got it, the Illawarra Hawks. We've seen some teams who are going to be rolling that out, Tassie as well. I want every team to wear it because, again, even if they don't play on Christmas Day next year. You know that people are going to wear it to the office for Christmas parties. People are going to wear it on the barbie. Every team needs an ugly Christmas jersey around this time.
100%. Obviously, we do the 12 days of Christmas, and there's like so much basketball at this series. So I think, bring out the Christmas jerseys, make them fun, make them fanatic. The kids would love it. You know how kids are. They buy a jersey of anything on it. So we have the heritage round. We have Indigenous round. It doesn't have to be a round. Just get them out there because I think it'll be good marketing for every team in the NBL.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to push for it. You can jump on board with me, DJ, because your voice will travel a bit more than me. Tassie versus New Zealand, the first game. Tassie, we know Will Magnay got ruled out, but they're playing some good basketball. The best winning streak of their club's history, 6 on the trot. It's something about this team's culture that when everyone writes them off, backs against the wall, they just find a way.
I think that's what Scott Roth has done since he's got there. It's just instill a culture. If you don't want to play my way, get out of here. Just simple as that. And obviously now you're seeing Crawford come off the bench and he's embraced it. He's playing some really good basketball, but gives guys another chance to step up. Like Ruben Tarangi played well, Majuk Dang, like just little guys. Like I reckon once their import finds his feet, they'll be really good. So, I've got Tassie tonight because New Zealand's a bit of a mess like we are right now.
They are, and it's going to be tough for them. Again, travelling in. I think they go up to Cairns on New Year's Eve. So the travel schedule this season for the New Zealand Breakers continues to test them. But then the big game, the entree to the main course. I think they're both main course on Christmas Day, but the rivalry, Illawarra Hawks versus the Sydney Kings. We've got Gorgeous been there on both sides. Kudos Bank Arena. The Hawks, the best team in the competition, trying to get a series win over there. Well, I don't know. Can we call it a big brother anymore? I don't know if it is because the Illawarra Hawks are rolling. What are you expecting from this one?
Big fireworks. I think there'll be some push and shove. I think Gorge said it during the week that when he was on Illawarra's side, like we were smacking Illawarra at every chance. Now it's flip-flops. So they're playing some good basketball. I think Trey Kell's up there for MVP conversation as well. Justin Tatum has done a great job. I think it's going to be a feisty game. I'm not going to select a team who's going to win tonight. I just want some good quality basketball. 8 o'clock my time here in Adelaide. So it'll be good. If Illawarra win, maybe there is no big brother anymore and the rivalry kind of goes to Illawarra. But I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the Kings at home for some reason. So everyone will be up and about.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. I think there'll be a little added extra spice to it. I will ask you then, out of both teams, who's the most important player for both teams tonight, Sydney and Illawarra, rather than a full prediction on who you think will win?
I think Trey Kell and Darius Days, those two come in, but I think Cam Oliver for the Kings. I would love to see more of him. More minutes is what I'm trying to say. Get him in more actions because he can hoop, man. Like when you see him get the chance to just be himself, he's a really good basketball player, and you love to watch and see it. So I think Trey and Darius on one end and Cam Oliver on the other.
And the other one for the Kings, I mean, we've seen Xavier Cooks putting together a better statistical season than he had when he won his MVP. But Jalen Adams in particular seems to be the heartbeat of this Kings team. You've seen Jalen Adams at his very best. When you watch him now take over games late, do you kind of see, is there a moment that you can kind of see when Jalen Adams, the way he plays, or maybe it's a mindset or something when he walks on the court where, when you think, okay, he means business now, he's going to try and take over this game?
Yeah, he's healthy now. That's the thing. Obviously, ankle early on in the back, and I think once he found his rhythm, he just has to, when he plays relaxed, it's over with. And he's playing with that frizzy hair of his, so it's like, I think that might be the key. So, he's a great basketball player, and as I said, as long as he's playing relaxed, you're in trouble. You might think, oh, he's chilling today. No, he's not. He's dropping 32 and 10 easily. So, he's a great basketball player. So, that's what I mean. It'll be a great game tonight.
DJ, we love you, man. Thank you so much for joining us on Christmas Day here on NBL Now. We can't wait to see you back in action, and I'm hoping that's Saturday night because the Sixers need you and NBL needs you out on the floor. Before I let you go, what comes to the man present-wise for the man who has everything?
No, man, I'm not big on presents, so I'm just going to hang out with my mates. We go to the beach today. We've got our annual Serbian tournament beginning on Friday, and we're doing the opening ceremony, so I'm big with that. Giving back to my kind of culture and, little kids in the community. So we're just going to do that, hang out. Got a few prizes for them, a couple of signed jerseys and all that. So that's how I'm going to spend my Christmas Day.
Well, you've already given me my Christmas present last. What was it, a month ago? I got a case of wine and got some step one. So you always look after me. DJ, appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Tune in. Big Christmas Day doubleheader hoops coming at you later tonight. Check your local guides, and we'll see you then.